question I have for everybody, and Sam, I'll let you go first on this, is what do the Detroit Lions need to do in order to leave LA with a victory? What is one or two things that the Lions absolutely must do on Sunday?
All right, so I have kind of a list. Whenever I get asked questions like this, I take a look at what their opponent does well and what they don't do well. And when it comes to things that the Chargers actually do exceptionally well, there are more things than you would think. First of all, the Los Angeles Chargers have a +9 turnover differential, and the Lions' turnover differential is actually kind of average at 0. The thing about the Lions is their defense hasn't forced that many turnovers. They forced some really big ones, like the Brian Branch pick 6, for example, but Jared Goff has thrown a couple of himself, and David Montgomery had that bad fumble. It wasn't really all his fault, but it resulted in a touchdown against Seattle. This defense, even though it has had some pitfalls, has been opportunistic, and Justin Herbert has done a really good job of taking care of the football. So you can't turn the football over, and it would be nice if the Lions could force one, maybe an Austin Eckler fumble or a Justin Herbert interception. Another thing that the Chargers do well, that the Lions actually do well to counteract that, is the Chargers are actually 3rd in the NFL in sacks at 31, led by, of course, Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack, who have both had very, very good years. But the good news is the Lions have a damn good offensive line and one elite tackle and one really, really good tackle who can help counteract that, because the Lions are 6th best in sacks allowed. They've only allowed 16. The Chargers have sacked the quarterback 31 times. So it's going to be a something has to give kind of moment. Another thing, though, in which the Chargers do not do well at all, in which the Lions really, really need to exploit, the Los Angeles Chargers are dead last in the NFL in passing yards allowed per game. Even though that secondary has some talent, Asante Samuel Jr. has had a good season. A guy like Michael Davis on the opposite end, he should not be a starting corner in this NFL. Absolutely. Whoever goes up against Michael Davis should Michael Davis should allow 7+ receptions for 100+ yards and at least 1 touchdown when targeted, maybe even more. And even Derwin James. Derwin James is a very, very good player, but by the numbers, he's actually had the worst season of his career up to this point. But Derwin James is obviously somebody that you have to worry about, but he hasn't been the all-pro Derwin James this year. And the Lions, conversely, are 6th in the NFL in pass offense. We all know Jared Goff is having a great year again, kind of a similar year to what he had last year. And this is the game, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit more later, in which the Lions have their fullest complement of weapons and offensive line that they've had all season, including the Kansas City Chiefs game, because if you remember, during the Chiefs game, Jameson Williams was suspended. So that is something that the Lions absolutely need to exploit. They're going to need a big game out of Jared Goff. To kind of summarize, they're going to need a big game out of Jared Goff. They can't turn the football over, and they need to keep Jared Goff upright.